like it's a bit like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, that music. Hi ho, it's off to craft we go. Hello, welcome back to Crafters TV. My name's Joe. We have got a fantastic masterclass coming up for you over the next couple of hours. Masterclasses are brilliant because it is our one opportunity, or one of our opportunities, to look really in depth at demonstrations when it comes to either a product or a technique. And today it's going to be all about embossing. And we've got the head teacher when it comes to our craft experts with us. Jan is here. How are you, Jan?
I am fine, thank you, Joe. I love that, the head teacher. It's, oh gosh, a bit too far for me, that one. But no, honestly, I'm really excited. I love embossing. Honestly, we always say that embossing folders are one of the understated items that we have in our kits. And I know you all have loads of them, because I know I have. But today we've got lots of different types. So we've got cut and emboss folders that come into that category. So I'm going to be showing you how to do some of those, and I'm going to be showing you how to make the backgrounds to go with them. We have got a selection of embossing folders from the Best of British collection, and again some really nice ones. This one's the London skyline. I'm going to be using the postcard one along with the beach huts later in the demo. Just look at this, we have got some Christmas stuff on. It's never too early to start Christmas, so we've got a little sneaky bundle in there with the Christmas, but look at that. Those colours are stunning, not typically Christmas, but just look at all that yummy goodness in the shaker in there.
Oh, yummy goodness.
Beautiful. And then we've got, I love this range, we've got those lovely textured folders which include the leopard print there. So have a wild birthday. And also in that collection we have got the ivy aperture one in there. There's some more on the display here at the side of me. But yeah, really looking forward to taking you through each different type. Some of them are 3D, some of them are the traditional 2D, cut and emboss folders, using different things with them. And literally just have a lot of fun as we go along. So yeah, looking forward to it, Joe.
Awesome. And the great thing about embossing is there's so many different ways that you can take it. I think Crafters Companion really have led the charge when it comes to resurgence of embossing folders, as well as fantastic demonstrations, great deals for you in the show, great discounts as well. Remember, every single Club Inspire member will be getting an extra 5% off. So that means bronze members will get 10%, our silver members will get 15%, gold members will get gold members will get 20%, and also our platinum members will get an extra 5% off. All the details are along the side of the screen right there. You can get in contact with me in all the usual ways. We'll share some pictures and stuff as we go through the show, but we'll talk about all of that once we are into the show. I need to share with you the first item, and I think you're going to love these. Now, I like these because they're a 6x6 size. So conventionally, 5x7 is what we're used to with our embossing folders. These are awesome, and they're a really great background. So you've got a gorgeous spring forest here. We also have the set in stone, like an awesome dry stone wall you'd find in the Peak District. You've got the trellis swirls in there. The other one that you have, which I don't have a board for, is the bricks, the brick layers. £15.50 today, or $22 if you want to get your hands on those. All of the other collections can be found over on the website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.au. There you can also click that shop, that show button, and you'll see everything that's coming up for you. There's going to be loads of inspiration, and we're going to have loads of fun as well. Now, Jan, I know you really love embossing folders. How are you going to choose where to start?
Well, I just think there are so many different techniques to do. So with this one, there were 4 in the set, and you're quite right, Joe. How do you decide? So I decided to use all 4 and take away the actual choice there. So because they've got 4 in the set, I'm going to use each one all on one card, so why not? And that way it showcases them all for you as well. So I've actually already done a couple of them, and then we're going to do a couple together on the show just to show you what I've done. So I started out with a piece of cardstock craft card that measures 5 inches square, and then I cut it down into quarters to make myself 4 little 2.5-inch squares. All right, and we're going to do these 2 together. But what I've done, this one is actually the set in stone, and I've done a couple already, and literally just embossed that little section, and then I've used some ink on it to highlight it, which I'm going to show you, and a little bit of gilding wax on there, you can just see in the light there, and then I've matted it on some coloured card just to match the ink. So that was the set in stone, and then I've done exactly the same for the spring forest. So we've got another little square with the forest trees on there, and again I've done exactly the same. I've used it's Bordeaux ink that I've used, the dark red, with a little bit of gilding wax over the top there. So I've got those two done, and then we're going to do the same for the trellis swirls and the brick layers. Now these are a normal, what I call a normal 2D folder. These is where we started out with embossing folders, and they are literally your 2D version. So there's nothing sort of sculpted in here, it's just one level of embossing, but they make fantastic backgrounds. They make sort of a feature on your card if you want it to be, and you've basically got a raised area in your folder and a recessed area. And the idea is once you put your card in here, the pressure from your machine, whether it be a Gemini or any other machine that you use, these will go through most machines, the pressure is going to push this design up through your card and trap it in that recess to give you that lovely embossed area that you can then catch with the ink. So let's do just that then. So we're going to put one in here, and I don't think they'll both fit on my mats at the same time, so I'll run them through individually.
This trellis swirls one is awesome. Is it like a Spanish tile almost?
It is, isn't it? Or even Moroccan, even go as far as Moroccan.
Yeah,
really pretty. And again, I just think they come up great, as I say, for a background. With it just being a 2D folder, for our Gemini, we just need our 2 clear plates. If you're using another type of die cutting machine, then just use your normal, what you would use for a normal embossing folder for that one. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with the brick layers as well. So once this one's run through here, I'm going to just pop that one out for a second and put my last little quarter in. Whoops, I'm stuck to my piece in here. So again, we're going to pop that one inside and pass that one through just to get that embossing on there. So when we open this one up now, you can see, let's just see if we can pick this up with a camera. You'll be able to see it better when I've added the ink to it. But just look, you know, that one pass through the machine and you've got that beautiful, it does, with making it into a smaller tile, Joe, it does look like one of those embossed tiles, doesn't it? So that's the trellis, and then we've also got in there that lovely brick one, which again, you know, these are great if you're wanting to make backgrounds. You know, think if you were watching us on Play Your Crafts right earlier with those boxes, you know, if you were wanting to do your man cave, you could actually emboss the outline of the little boxes with the brick one.
Why does man cave sound a bit peculiar to me? I don't know why it does. I know what it is, I know it's just a shed, it's just a shed, but it just sounds a bit, I'm not going to say rude, but it just sounds a bit odd to me. I'm not sure why. Oh, where is he? In the man cave.
He's in the man cave. So I've got my opaque pigment ink here, and we've got some of these on the show. And then I'm also going to take some of the gilding wax as well, which we've got on the show. So got those on there. And I've just used one of my sponge applicators. And as I say, once you've got that raised area on your embossing, just very, very lightly, just to rub this over the top, it's just catching that embossed area, and I just think it adds another layer to it just to highlight where you've got that beautiful embossing.
So does it give you a different feel than putting the ink in the folder, Jan? Because I know that's something else that people love to do, isn't it?
We're going to do that on one of the later demos, Joe, because I love that letterpress technique, so you'll see that in action a little bit later. So literally I'm just going to pop a little bit round the edges there, and then I'm going to do the same. Now again, with this one you can have it either way. I mean, this is the deboss side, which looks just as nice, but I do prefer, you know, if you think of a brick wall, the bricks stand proud of the mortar. So again, I'm going to catch this one and it will actually highlight the bricks there.
Beth says, good morning to everyone. We're driving to Virginia and you're keeping me company on the ride, so thank you. Oh, Beth, I'd love to know where you're driving from to Virginia and also how long it takes. I love travelling, you know, any kind of travelling. If it's in the car, a plane, a train, it just really excites me. I'm not sure why. Loads of other people tuning in today as well. I can see that Sharon is in from Napoleon, Ohio. What an incredible place name, Jan. Napoleon, Ohio.
Honestly.
How
There's
awesome.
some we were just talking about place names earlier. There's some fabulous place names. I know I was looking, not one to discuss on air, but I'd seen a picture of a rude map of the UK.
Wow.
And it had got all the naughty names on it the other day. So yeah, that made me chuckle a little bit. Right, I've just opened my gilding wax and literally stuck my thumb in it. So I've just been cleaning that off. But all I'm going to do now is take a little bit of the gilding wax onto the craft mat there, and then again, just to add a little bit more detail, just in areas, not necessarily all of it, I'm just going to catch some of those pieces just to add a little bit of a sheen onto the top of the ink.
It's interesting because it's not necessarily the first thing you do think of using inks and gilding waxes on the same piece of cardstock.
Not necessarily. I'm always like, what else can I do to it? What else can I do to it? You know, it's like, why stop at one thing when you can add 2 or 3? But yeah, you can still see the colour of the ink through there, but then when I tilt them, you can see that we've got that lovely bit of sheen going on as well there.
Beautiful.
So, and then again on the brickwork, it just highlights, it's just adding that little bit of interest as to how's she done that? What did she use? And I like that when you're gifting something to someone, how have they done that? So let's just clean up the mess. And then I'm literally going to pop these onto some mats. So we'll use in fact, yeah, I'll use my collal. When I've been embossing, it's a nice glue to use with the embossing because it sticks into the back of all the debossed area,
cool.
And you get a really nice sort of adhesion. So we'll pop these onto here and then we'll put them together to make a card. So literally just got a little piece that's cut at 2 1/4 inches square just to make, a really, really small matten layer because I'm then going to pop these onto another layer on the card. So again, a little bit on that one. Pop that down and you've got time to just wriggle it into place and just leave that little border around it. And then I'll bring in the 2 that we've, do you know, it's got that much wriggle room that it wriggled off the page there. There we go. And then I bring the 2 that we've already done. So we're going to have them sort of, I think, yeah, like so. All right. So what I've actually prepped ahead of time was my card blank. And I've gone with a little bit of gold mirror card here just to pick up the gilding wax, to tie in with the gilding wax. And what we're going to do is actually pop these, that one doesn't want to stick, pop these on top just to leave a little bit of the gold showing. Because I'm now going to work on the mirror card, I'm going to pop my solvent glue away because it's the one thing that the all-purpose glue doesn't really like. With it being a coated cardstock, it will take off the coating if you get any on there. So I'm going to revert back to my tape pen for this one. So just on the back of those squares, just to add some double-sided tape, and then literally leave a little border all the way around.
If you weren't that confident with the tape pen, is there another wet glue you could use, Jan?
Yes, the tacky glue would work just as well.
Awesome.
If you wanted a wet glue, you could use your tacky glue, would work on the coated surface. All right, and if not, there's always the red line tape as well. So lots of choices, and people tend to have favourites, Joe, I find. You know, you speak to people about crafting, and some people, you know, swear by the tape pens, some love the wet glue, and everybody seems to fall into categories, and I use them all. I use them all for different purposes, you know, depending on what I'm doing. So what I want to do is just try and leave pretty much an equal border around the outside there. So then we've got the swirls that we've just done, and then the last one's going to be that brick wall. So when we pop this, I've just got a little bit of glue seeping out there, but your collal glue will just wipe away. So that one's going to go in the bottom corner there, and then it's leaving a little bit in the middle, and then the last one
might be good for more masculine themes of cards, these ones, I'm thinking, Jan.
Could be, yeah. And as I say, to use them in their entirety, I mean, this one I thought would look great with one of the stag dies stood in front of it, would be a lovely one. You know, you've got that lovely crazy, this one could be stone wall, it could be crazy paving. You know, so many different things. But obviously we have to narrow it down to one demo, and it's like I have all these ideas and think, oh, well, I need to pick one because I can only fit one in. And then moving on to the next one, again, I've just got a little bit of that glue. Oh, don't get it on your mirror card, Jan. There we go. Okay, and then just to bring that all together, I've actually die cut a sentiment that I had in my stash in the same colour tones there, and just highlighted it with a little bit of gilding wax to match, and then we're going to pop that in the centre. Just put that in there, take off the foam pads. Because I'm going onto the top of the gilding wax and the ink and everything, I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue, wet glue on the back of my foam pads as well, and that will seep into the cardstock so that it's not just sat on top, and we're going to put that in the centre there. And then I've just got just a plain piece with the gold round it to pop on the inside so that you can write your message when you're ready to send your card off to someone. So that's going to go inside there, just so that you've got a nice space to write. And that's our first one, just using a 2D embossing folder. But as I say, I used all 4 of them so that you could see them in their entirety. So there we go for that first demo.
Love that, Jan. I think it's awesome. I'm getting a slight Christmas vibe from it as well. I think you could easily interchange that. Yeah, I think it's the craft and the gold. I mean, it looks beautifully as a normal everyday card, but it wouldn't take much, would it? It's only a couple of baubles short of a Christmas card, I think. Don't miss out on those. Tickled Jan Matters. £11.62 or £16.50 for Platinum members today. I know, less than £6 per embossing. No, Joe, less than £3 per embossing folder if you are a Platinum member. If you don't have these already, that is a phenomenal deal. Let me take you back through what you're getting in here then. So you're going to get the Spring Forest, which is that one there. This would work really good with the Woodland Friends, I think, that one. You've also got the Set in Stone. This reminds me of those dry stone walls that you find in the countryside here in the UK. You've also got in there the Trellis Swirls, and one that I don't have a board for is this one here, which is, of course, your brick layers. So brick layers, you're going to get the Trellis Swirls. You're also getting Set in Stone and the Spring Forest in there. Less than £3 per folder. Loving the fact that they are also a slightly unusual size, being the 6x6 size, rather than that conventional 5x7. Now, as if embossing folders weren't brilliant enough, we then also bring you cut and emboss folders, which are brilliant. So they do what they say on the tin, really. They are an embossing folder, but it will add die cut detailing for you too. Now, these ones are about to show you are awesome because they're a 5x7 size. So really, you don't really need to do too much to these to have a finished project. If you've got a batch make, I think you'll love these too. They've got the sentiments already in there. So you've got birthday, congrats. We also have friend, home, love, and thanks in there too. So 6 really versatile sentiments for you. If you're batch making, as I say, if you're making to sell or to fund your own crafty habit or for charity, you can make really awesome things in there. Nice that they give you a bit of aperture as well, those ones, Jan, so you can kind of jazz them up a bit, can't you?
The actual wording in there is the feature of your card, so you don't need an awful lot more decoration on there other than what's already on there. So again, with this one, I wanted to show you how to actually make the background to start with. I know I get asked about this a lot, and I often bring them ready done, and people say to me, how did you do it? So I thought we'd have a go today. So I've just got a piece of stamping card, all right, and we're actually going to colour it with some of the inks that we've got on the show. So we've got a blue selection, and we've got Oasis and Parakeet.
Jan is like a coiled spring today. She's ready.
I'm eager.
She's so eager.
Honestly, he's like, Jan, stop. He's got some more to tell you. I was away with the fairies then, Joe. I was on it.
That's all right. You know that Jan is in love.
Rein her in, quick, somebody rein her in.
Jan really loves doing the demos when she's off. She was off. I want to just quickly share some of the other collections we've got for you. This, if you were just going to treat yourself to a little something, this is brilliant because £11.50 or £14.50, you're saving 30%. You've got the amazing picket fence in here. This postcard, keep your eyes tuned for a brand new Sarah Signature launch as well on Monday. That might work beautifully with it. You've also got the London skyline. I just love that one. And of course, not long till we're all back on the beach at the beach huts with a 99 and a little picnic, which will be awesome. £11.50 or £14.50 if you want to get those ones. If you've already got maybe the paper pad from the Best of British collection, these will play nicely with that, of course. I know we're not meant to have favourites, but my favourite collection on the show is without a doubt these ones just here. Now, let me take you through what you're getting. These are our gossamer, this is our 3D embossing folders that you've got. Now, this one here is your gossamer lace, which is beautiful. Such lovely fine detailing on there. You've also got this one, which is my absolute favourite. No prizes for guessing that one. It is that beautiful leopard print. This one here is your vintage scroll. It is just lovely. It's like the Palace of Versailles, this one. Then you've got your peony bouquet, for those of you that love your florals out there. You've got the climbing ivy, which makes a gorgeous frame. And your großer Schmetterling, your grande butterfly there as well. You get all, I know, I can't believe I said the leopard print was my favourite. Maybe it is the butterfly. No, it is the leopard print. £32 or $46, of course. With your Club Inspired discount, you are going to get an extra juicy saving, but everyone gets 20% off, of course. I've got one more I want to share with you. And it is a Christmas collection. Now this is nice because it's a mixture of 6x6 and 5x7. And what you're going to get in here is you're going to get the rustic wreath in there, which is just beautiful. Again, these are, I mean, if embossing folders were creator cards, this doesn't make much sense. But these are like a creator card embossing folder.
They are, yes.
You know, you're just running it through and then you've got everything done. There's the few baubles that you were short of earlier, Jan. You've also got your elegant poinsettia. This one is Merry and Bright, which is beautiful. That's a landscape one, that one. And another landscape one for you is the Deck the Halls. Absolutely love them. Think they're fantastic. They're a half price deal as well. That's the thing, when you buy festive stuff, you know, Christmas crafting items, and it's not, you know, the festive period, we whack those discounts up. Great idea to grab a hold of those and put them away. I'm sure a lot of you maybe even will have considered starting your Christmas crafting already. Some of you are super well organised out there. I'm going to see who else is just tuning in a moment. We've got Karen in Connecticut. We also have Mandy Doodlehands. Tiny is in from Minnesota. Terry's in Ohio, Terry. Sarah's here from Melbourne, Australia, of course. And also Kathy. Saying hi everyone, missed the earlier show, had to watch, hoping to be able to sit back and enjoy the sun. And have we got two Sarah? Do we got two Sarah Browns? We have got two Sarah Browns. Mariposa, of course, saying hi, and Carol saying good morning from Ohio as well. I'll tell you what I'd like to know in the comments. I'd love to know, what is your favourite technique to do with your embossing folders? Is it sanding back? Is it inking? Is it gilding wax? Let me know in the comments. We'll do a little bit of a straw poll, Jan. See what everyone's favourite is, eh?
So many different techniques there really are, absolutely. Right.
Go now, Jan.
Go now.
Pressing
my pause button. Honestly, that was funny. It's like, crikey, his face. He was like, somebody stop her. I'd gone into demo mode and that was it then. Right, as we were, honestly, we're going to go back to the background area on here. So I've picked out two of the turquoisey range of opaque inks, which we've got on the show as a blue collection. You get the turquoise and the blues in a 6-piece collection. So what we're actually going to do, I'm also going to bring out my spray bottle, which just contains tap water. So literally just got a little bit of water in there. I've got a piece of tissue at the ready just in case I need it. And I've got my heat tool at the ready just to dry off, all right? So all the bits and pieces at the ready. So this is where your glass mat, or you can use a craft mat, come in handy. I'm going to take my ink pad and literally take it straight to the craft mat.
And this is a pigment ink pad you're using,
This is the pigment ink, yeah. Okay. You can do this with your water reactive inks. I just like the finish on the pigment inks. You get that sort of chalky pastel finish. Now then, I might just for the purpose of demoing go to the two darker ones, because I'm just looking at that and I'm thinking it's not going to show up overly well. So forgive me for wasting that ink, but it is quite a pale one, that one. So if I go for the parakeet.
Oh, nice. The parakeet's a gorgeous shade,
you're going to get a better effect on it and we'll still get the same finish. So again, once we've done this, I'm going to spritz it with water just to activate it. All right, so it wants to be quite damp, and then literally take my stamping card and just pop it in. You know, it doesn't matter where it goes. You're just going to pick up some of that ink onto your card.
I haven't seen this done with the pigment ones before.
Yeah, as I say, you can do it with your water reactive inks as well. If you get a build-up of it, you can just dab the edge there. So that's all I want to do with that one. And then the key with this is to make sure that it's dry in between, which is why I just popped my heat tool out. So again, just in between layers, just make sure that it's dry, because these will layer up over the top of each other.
Well, that's a lovely quiet heat tool you've got there.
I know, everybody comments on this.
Whisper quiet.
George didn't think I'd got it turned on earlier, but that's one of the reasons I like it. I had to hold it up to my mic I nearly melted the microphone.
That's
So
amazing.
just to dry it off that enough so that otherwise all you're going to do is all your colours are just going to meld together and there'll be no definition. So again, I'm going to do exactly the same with the Lagoon, which is a darker shade of that turquoise. So these will complement each other beautifully. Spritz it again, make sure it's, and then I'm going to try and aim for sort of where the gaps are. So I've got a gap in this corner here, so I'm going to pick some up in the corner. I'm going to turn it round and I'm going to aim for those other pieces that haven't got any in. Okay, so you can see there where we've just got those extra pieces. So again, I would at home probably get a second piece of cardstock and do this again, but I'm just clearing up that for the time being because we're on air. So make sure that's nice and clean. And then again, I'm going to dry this off. If you do get any sort of puddles in it, you know, just give it a dab. If there's areas that are a bit too dark, and you can see how we've transferred that colour now. And bearing in mind, this is only going to be a background, so we don't have to worry about what it looks like. Don't sort of think, oh, it doesn't look very good, because we're going to do so many things to it. And then again, your card, just pop it back into shape. It doesn't hold a memory, so once you've actually shaped it back, we're good to go. So again, I think I'm going to go with it that way up.
Oh, that's beautiful,
And
Jan.
the next things that I want to do, I'm just going to spray some water onto my mat. Take just a paintbrush in there in the water and literally give it a good old tap. Because these are still water reactive, you're going to get that lovely sort of speckled effect on it. So again, you can see why the glass mats come in handy now. So the longer you leave this, the more reaction you will get, because it starts to displace the ink in here, and that's what makes those ink spots on it. So with the piece of kitchen paper there, I'm literally just going to blot it, and it should pull some of the ink out there. You can just see in places where we've got those little ink spots going on now. Okay, and then I'm also known for sort of splattering things about. I think I'm just going to take a little bit of the polish there. This is the teal one. All right, I had these on the Mixed Media show not long back, Joe.
So they're the Cosmic Shimmer
The
ones?
Cosmic Shimmer ones, yeah. So again, I'm just going to pop some of that on. Because these are water-based, you can actually dilute them a little bit and make them into like more of a paint consistency.
That's awesome,
So
Jan. I love that.
literally just, and this matches beautifully with those ink colours. You'd think that they'd been designed to work with each other.
Could you stencil with that if you wanted to?
Yes, you could, as long as you don't go too watery, because I would stencil it literally straight out of the pot.
Okay.
It is like a polish, but it's a water base rather than a wax. So it behaves very differently to our traditional gilding wax, because this is wax based.
Right.
With this, with it being water based, you can literally do lots of different things. So I want it wet enough. I'm just going to go a little bit more. It's not particularly diluting the colour, it's the consistency that I'm after.
Very intense, isn't it?
And I'm just going to load up my brush now, and literally I just want sort of splatters going on here, just as another feature. I'm trying not to go, I normally end up with everything covered in it when I'm doing this, Joe. So I'm trying not to get too much on the...
You need your Crafter's Companion apron, Jan.
Probably. I'm just worried about the desk rather than me. But as I say, with it all being water-based, it will wash out.
Don't worry, Debbie spilled a sparkle ink over it already.
Again, I'm going to move out to one side and do a little bit. As I say, I've got it everywhere, look. It goes, it's the only trouble with the splashing, it goes all over.
I can't believe how a small amount of that went such a long way.
It does. I mean, there's loads left there. What I'd be tempted to do if I've got some spare card is literally, you can do the same technique with this. So let me just get the excess off the brush. But because this has actually now sort of turned into an ink, you can, and look, I love this sort of, it reminds me of like underwater caves.
It looks like a lung.
And
doesn't it?
if it were that colour, I'd be a bit worried, Joe.
A Smurf's lung.
But you get this reaction with the glass mat. It doesn't do it on a craft mat. It's almost like that. You get that.
Yeah.
And look how you get that veining in it. So again, if you were sort of doing like underwater theme here, you've got this gorgeous effect on it, yeah?
Nice.
So again, any waste that you've got, pick up on a spare bit rather than, you know, do as I say, not as I do. It's like when we're demoing like this, as I say, it's just as quick to actually clear it all up. And again, because it's water-based, it's literally going to come off that mat and clean back up to where we started. And I'm just using the water just to get it off there and start afresh. And then again, just to make sure that this is totally dry, I'm just going to come in with my heat tool again.
Incredible, Jan.
And we've not even started with the embossing folder yet. It was literally just a means of showing you how to create the background. I would normally do this at home. And a lot of people have said, no, show us how you do it, show us how you do it. So I thought this was a perfect example to actually show you where we start with. And this is what I love about crafting. You start off with a piece of white cardstock, and then you turn it into something completely different. So once we've got this dry, we're actually going to run this through that cut and emboss folder now, and then we're still going to add some more to it. I've not finished with it yet. All right, let's just move those out of the way there. And again, I'm going to bring in, I've chosen the birthday folder here. So once we take this out of here, these behave like a normal 2D embossing folder. They are same thickness as the ones that I've just used. So as far as plate combinations concerned, we're still going to use our 2 clear plates. But if you haven't come across these before, inside there is actually a metal die embedded in the folder. So you're going to get that cut effect. So it will cut out the letters that say birthday or any of the other wording that we've got. But you've also got this lovely traditional embossed feature in as well, which is where your cut and emboss comes from. In here, we've actually got foam in the lettering. So don't think, oh, I've left some cardstock in and try and pick it out. It's there for a reason to help those pieces. Normally with a die, you would go in from the top and pop your pieces out, but you can't do that with a folder. So the foam's there just for that little bit of extra pressure to help them pop out. So my cardstock's cut down. I usually work with 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. Is that right? No, 5 by 7. 6 3/4 by 4 3/4, Jan, get the measurements right. So it's just slightly smaller than my embossing folder, just to make sure I get all that lovely detail. And then we're going to go inside the 2 clear plates and then pop those through the Gemini. Now, you could get 2 for the price of 1 here, because all those letters are going to pop out that spell your word. So we want the aperture for this particular card, but you've got the letters left over where you could do something different with them. So let's pop those back on there and I'll show you what we mean now. So when we open this up, you've got that lovely detail that we made with the background. Now some of the letters have come out, but some of them we're just going to pop through there. And when we take these out, you can see there now that we've got that lovely birthday through it. But also, if I just tilt, you can see gorgeous. That beautifully there. Look, can you see how we've got that lovely embossing on there as well, and the same at the bottom. Okay, there is just a couple of letters in there, so just be gentle and take those out, not to damage the actual foam. So I'm just going to take the cardstock, you can see where it's a little bit whiter, off the top, and leave that foam intact, ready for next time. So we'll just pop those to one side, and then I'm going to bring in the gilding wax again. Whoops, one trying to escape. And I just want to very, very gently highlight that embossed feature so that we've got a little bit more sort of detail going on. So just again, where that raised bit is, I'm just feeling with my finger nice and gentle. You can always apply a little bit more, but I don't want to particularly colour the background. I just want to highlight where that lovely swirl is on the embossed element. Beautiful. And then the same at the bottom. Just, you can see where it is, so just pop your finger over it gently. Got those little balloons on there as well.
I just love that. I love that background, how it cuts the words out so you really can see them. Lots of people saying how much they're loving this masterclass. Coletta saying great theme, always use them. Christina saying Jan's right, I have a lot of embossing folders already. I need to learn how to incorporate them better. Pamela saying good morning. Karen loves using them, loves the texture that it adds. I can't tell you how many times I've used that brick one that you had on. And Carol must have over 125 folders. Wowzers.
So you can see where we've got to there so far. The only thing that I've done extra on the piece that I'd prepared is I've just gone round the edges with a little bit of embossing powder as well. So I literally just took my translucent watermark ink, and all I've done round the edge is just swipe it across the edges, okay, and then pop some of the embossing powder that matched it round, just to give a bit more sort of texture to it. And then watch how this comes alive. The reason I chose the gold gilding wax was because I'm going to put it on top of a piece of the pale gold.
Well, you're loving the golds
glitter
today,
card.
Jan.
No, I just think turquoise and gold are a really nice combination. So we've actually got that peeking through the birthday, and you've got just a bit of edge around it. So again, I've put tape on the back of this one purely because I'm going onto the glitter card. If you wanted to use a wet glue, I would be using my tacky glue so that it soaks into the glitter on the glitter card. But just for speed and not having to wait for it to dry.
Winnerbeth says she needs some inspiration to use her embossing folders. Well, and she hopes this class will be what she needs. I think it will. It's going to be the kick up the backside she needs to get those embossing folders out, isn't it, Jan?
I've got lots of different ideas for you. Try to do something different with each demo. Even though we're embossing through all of them, I've tried to do something different. So we've got that letterpress technique coming up. We're going to use some gilding polish. I'm trying to think what else I've done. I've got all sorts of bits and pieces. But yeah, that's going to give me a really nice good stick down there, and then I can go back to my tape pen to pop this on the card blank. So again, you don't need to do much else when you've got something like this that gives you that instant feature. So I've made myself a long thin card, and I've just put a spine on it and wrapped a little bit of turquoise ribbon round there. This is going to be the focal point. Okay. And then I've got my hot glue gun on, and I've just got a little tiny bit of the turquoise ribbon with a little embellishment there to match, and that's going to go in the middle there. And then for the inside, you know, I said you had this little pile of letters left. I've actually used those for the inside,
nice.
Just with some scraps of the gold that was left, stamped to happy, and this is actually going to be the piece that goes inside here. So again, we'll pop in fact, I can use my tape pen on there, just so that I like to sort of match the insides to the outsides as well.
It's a really lovely touch, that.
It could be you know, you could have inserts that you could put inside. You could just stamp straight inside the card. But it gives a little bit of weight to the back as well as the front there. So this one's just going to go all the way inside there. And you've still got enough space on there to actually write your sentiment in there, your greeting in there as well. So we've got that lovely happy birthday folder there with that lovely glitter card peeking out from behind. You've got your own handmade background, and then the bits that technically came out that were waste, we've used on the inside just so that it coordinates with it as well. So happy birthday.
Absolutely beautiful. Loving that.
Okay.
Loads of love for that as well in the comments. I just saw the answer to a question that I asked earlier, and now I can't find it. I do this all the time, Jan. Honestly, it's like when you've got your glasses on your head and you can't find them and you're wandering around. That's exactly what it's like. It was the lovely viewer that told us about her journey earlier, the lovely Beth, and now I've lost it. A lot of you talking about your favourite ways to use embossing folders. Christine saying, I use fine sandpaper gently over the embossed card. Comes up really beautifully. Hadassah's thrilled that Jan is doing this class today. Shaz has been looking forward to it as well. Oh, here it is. Beth says she's travelling from upstate New York. It's about a 9-hour drive. They're now in New Jersey and have about 5 more hours left to go. Wow. I wouldn't mind that, you know.
That's a journey and a half, isn't it?
In 2 days over the last summer, I drove from Land's End in Cornwall back to work here in the northeast. Now, if you know the UK, I mean, apart from maybe an hour further north, that is the length and breadth of the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bristol to here. I did it sort of Land's End to Bristol, Bristol to here. I love driving. It's
a good job.
That was such a statement, wasn't it? It's like, I love blinking. I love blinking.
I love blinking,
driving.
I do.
Deborah says, sitting on the back porch in Ormond Beach, Florida, enjoying the sun. And Jan and Joe, that sounds gorgeous. Maureen Stroud says, I love masterclass with Jan. It's a bit of sunshine on a dreary day in Texas. Pamela loving the use of gold in your projects as well. And Gilmore said, here's something I never thought to do with embossing pieces of card. Let me just go back through what you're getting getting in that 6-piece everyday collection. It is going to give you all that gorgeous embossed detail. It is also going to cut those words out for you too. And I love that you've got that sentiment inbuilt there within the embossed details. You've got birthday, congrats, friend, home, love, and you've also got thanks in there too, which is awesome. Do grab those, £35, $40. Make sure you're using your Club Inspired discounts as well. Platinum members today can pick those up for $30, which is sensational. It's like, what, $5 per embossing folder. Unbelievable deal. Now, I want to move on to some of the cardstock that I've got available on the show today as well. These are your textured 12 by 12s. Now, these are 230 GSM, which is a really good all-round weight. You can emboss it, you can die cut it. I mean, you could even get away with maybe doing some construction with this as well. And in here, what we've got are the natural tones, which are these ones, which are your essential colours, your blacks, all of your greys, running through to your bright whites as well. Maybe not the most exciting colour tones, but definitely something I think you'd use a lot of there. I know Jan, you loves a black matte layer, don't you, Jan?
Black, I just think makes things pop. It really does. And I like those neutral tones.
Yeah, they're lovely, aren't they? This is your brights, $19.99, $24.95. Again, 36 sheets, 230 GSM. You've then, no, sorry, that wasn't your brights. I'm throwing a spanner in. No, that's brights, that one is called. Then the other one is Everyday Brights, which is a more of a paperweight cardstock, 180 GSM, 50 sheets of this one, but double-sided and a great array of colours in there. Real, if you want to create sort of rainbow designs, I think you'd love to use that. $19.99 or $24.95. I have got some slightly smaller ones for you as well. Just going down into the craft vault, here we are. And these are, oh my word, I haven't seen the 72-page one. So this one here is your Brights, this one is called, 8 by 8. This one here is 36 sheets. It's textured as well. This is one of the original paper pads that we actually brought to you in the coloured cardstock. So you've got that one. Then you've got this one. It's the All Occasions Brights. I think this might have come included as part of the Year of Crafts, if
yes,
I remember correctly.
Yes.
Now, this is a whopper, because this is 300 GSM, but you've got in here 72 sheets, which is awesome, in every single colour you could possibly desire. So if you've been using the Year of Crafts a lot and you're really enjoying the projects from that, this would be a great one to replenish that stash. Or it's fantastic and stands alone beautifully on its own too.
Be good for the double, I'm just thinking the double-sided dies as well,
Nice,
Joe. That would
yes.
be nice with those different shades of colour, wouldn't it? You know, like for the flowers and things like that.
Perfect for that. Yeah, absolutely perfect for that. Lots of you still chatting away. Gil, I read that one. Kathy C says, what a gorgeous card, so simple. Maureen saying hi from Bedford. Laquietta loving the colours choices as well. Connie says, good morning from Dublin, Ohio. We've got Laurie in also. We're in a very chatty mood today. Evelyn saying I look great today. Thank you, Evelyn. I appreciate that compliment. June was asking me if I enjoyed my breakfast with my fan club this morning. I did, yes. I went and had breakfast with Sarah and the boys this morning, outside, socially distanced. It was glorious. So yeah, the founding members of the Shut the Front Door fan club was there. It's lovely to see them after so long. So yes, June, thank you for that. Can I just remind you of a couple of other bits that you've found on the show so far? The pigment ink pads. Now in here, this is your blues. So you've got your blues and your turquoises in there. $23.95 or $33.36. Half of those have already gone, so you wanted to be fast for them. We've got the pinks. Hello. Debbie Fisher. Has she seen this collection? She loves a pink card, Debbie Fisher. How much of these have gone? 80% of the stock has gone here. Soon be limited stock on those. $23.95 or $33.36. And we've also got the aqua tints on the show for you as well. Now the thing is with the aqua tints, we are not reordering them. So this is the last of it. These are limited stock, these ones. Glitz and Glamour. The Perfect Pastels, I believe, is also limited stock. And we also have the Summertime available, which was half the stock gone on the Summertime. So yeah, limited on the those two, half the Summertime gone, $12.99. Get all of them for £26 or less than $40. If you're a Platinum member, you'd be looking at less than $30 to get all of those, which I think is absolutely awesome. It really is. Oh, and we've got to do a bit of sparkle, haven't we? Sparkle also on 3 for 2, which is gorgeous. These, great price on these, $12.99 again, or $19.95. You got Forest Glade. You can opt for traditional Christmas if you want to go for those. Can't Can't have too much glitz and glamour in your life. Beautiful colourway there on the glitz and glamour. And we've also got the perfect pastels with the sparkle, which is awesome. A lot of you talking about your favourite ways still to use your embossing folders. Jeanette saying embossing folders with air dry clay. Rosalind loves to use her sparkle inks, then emboss that background. I think that's a great way of using them. Pandas, I'm just doing my craft for Pinterest challenge. Carol Black says, I really love the embossing folders Crafts Companion has, that was with the stencil as well. They are awesome, those ones with the stencil. I agree with you, Carol, there. And Rebecca says, I love embossing on satin pearl cardstock, and bam, she says in capitals, build on from there depending on my creative move. Keep letting me know how you love to use your embossing folders. I'm going to give you an opportunity to check out your baskets, and a lot of you doing a lot of shopping at the moment. You don't want to miss the lovely Jan's demonstration. So whilst you do that, let's share with you all the details of Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, our free loyalty club. As a member of the club, you can save up to 20% every time you shop with us. For every £1 you spend, whether it's in one of our stores or on our website, you'll collect 1 loyalty point. The more points you have, the more benefits you'll receive. As a welcome present, we'll give you 20% discount with your very first order. Once you place your first order, you'll be given 250 points straight away, making you a bronze member. This will mean that you'll receive a 5% discount on all of your purchases until the end of the next calendar year, plus priority postage. 500 points takes you up to silver membership, where you'll get 10% discount plus free shipping when you spend over £20. When you get to 750 points, you'll become a gold member, which gets you a whopping 15% discount on every order, and we'll ship them to you completely free, no matter how big or small they are. Spend over £25 and we'll send them to you via our premium next day delivery courier service. When you reach 1500 points, you'll become a platinum member, giving you the same shipping benefits as a gold member, but with the added bonus of a massive 20% discount on all of your purchases. Now on top of that, you'll receive exclusive discounts, sneak peeks of brand new products, special offers and money-saving vouchers. You'll have access to an exclusive secret Facebook group to meet like-minded friends, to find out information first and to be inspired by all the Crafty makes. Become a member of our club today.
Anne was just saying in the comments, can't believe how quiet that he got. I was just talking to Johanna about, she's had it years. I love it. It does work. It's not just, I mean, I did think when you started heat embossing earlier, I was thinking, it's not switched on, she doesn't know. Let me come back. We're going to go and have a look now at my favourite collection that are on the show today. I think these are absolutely stunning. They're just, I was going to say they're classy. One of them's leopard print, so I mean, but some of them are, they're very refined, which is what I love about them. And remember that 3D embossing means that you don't have a sort of an emboss and a deboss. You do, of course, but you have multiple layers in there. And what that does is it gives you the most incredible sense of depth on there and texture, which is awesome. So this one is your gossamer lace that you've got here. You're also going to receive the leopard print. I mean, just how lush is that? This one here is your vintage scroll. I mean, I love the way it catches the light. This one here is your peony bouquet. Then you're also going to see your climbing ivy, and you're going to get the grande butterfly in there as well. Absolutely huge butterfly there. Going to be so much fun crafting with those. £32 or $46 if you want to get your hands on them. Don't forget that all of you in Club Inspire are getting an extra 5% off as well up until the end of tomorrow. So do make sure you take advantage of that if you are stocking up over the weekend. Now, these are absolutely beautiful, Jan. I love that they're a nice kind of variation of designs and styles in here.
There is, and we're moving on to that 3D element now. So these are sort of like embossing folders on steroids almost, I think. They're really, really good. It's like the 2D element that we've worked with so far just brings that embossing all up to one level. But when you get into the 3D, you get different layers in the embossing. So you get that gorgeous sculpting on your main feature, but then like a background embossing. So I chose the peony bouquet for this one. And again, if we have a look inside here, you can see the difference with what I mean. If I open this up, you've actually got areas inside. Let me put that black card underneath so you can see better. You can see that there is like a trellis work in the background here. We'll just come up a bit closer for you there.
Nice.
So we've got that lovely trellis in the background, and then you've got these beautiful sculpted flowers with the petals, and some petals are raised more than others. So once we emboss this, we're going to get a really nice shaped design. And I've just chosen a piece of, you might think, well, black with flowers, Jan. Just chosen a piece of black with this, and then we're going to add some detail to it again. So let's pop this through. Now, the one tip I can give you, and I see this on social media over and over again, where people have tried to emboss a 3D folder and they're not having a lot of success. So you need to be mindful. We need to change our plate combination, because if I grab the one we've just done, which was that, well, the birthday one, I want you to just have a good look at the difference in thickness there. So we've got the 3D one here and the 2D one. So there is quite, even with my card in there, without the card you would still have that difference in there. So this one went through the 2 clear plates. Because the folder is thicker now, I need to reduce the depth of the plates. So I'm going to work on just one of my clear plates for the Gemini. I'm going to put my embossing, magnetic just in as a shim to build up that layer. Then I'm going to put my folder in with the cardstock in, and I'm going to use my plastic shim on this occasion for the top layer. I'm not going to use my other clear plate. All right, so that's the right combination for the Gemini. If you're using a different brand machine, you might need to just have a play around with your combination, unless it tells you in your instructions how to do it with a 3D embossing folder, but just have a play around. You need to reduce the normal width or the normal depth of your embossing plates to accommodate the fact that the embossing folder is thicker. So when we open this one up, again, you can see in here, and as I say, black's not the best colour, but you will see when I actually bring out the detail on here. If I just bring...
Oh yeah, can you just about make that out
can
there?
we? Yeah, there we go, look. So awesome. You can just see that gorgeous sculpting. Now wait while we have a play with it, and it'll bring it out much better. So again, I'm going to go to those metallic gilding polishes that we had on the mixed media show. So these are the Cosmic Shimmer ones that I know so many of you literally wiped us out. We're still waiting for the next lot of stock coming in. If you didn't get your hands on them, we have reordered them. We are waiting for them to come back into stock. But I know so many of you actually bought these. Now these are a gilding polish, as opposed to our Pebeo being a gilding wax, but you can do the same kind of techniques with it. So this one is a definite wax. You've seen us use this time and time again. I'm going to use the polish this time in a similar manner. So you've got this lovely creamy gilding polish in here that's water-based, but I am literally just going to use my finger like I would do with the gilding wax this time, in exactly the same technique. And again, I'm going to go for the flower heads and just bring this over the top. So again, I'm just sort of looking as to where the flowers are and bringing from the petals inwards just to highlight. And this is actually the red bronze that I've got here. As I say, we have ordered them back in, so we are waiting for the stock to come back in and we can get them on the show again. But each of the flowers now, just from the top of the petals, I'm just dragging that colour, and it behaves just like a polished gilding wax that we've sort of known and loved for a number of years now. So again, we've got a large one down here, and that's those beautiful peony flowers. So just rubbing it, and again, you can put as much as little on as you want. If I tend to go sort of a bit gentle first, and then if you decide you want it to be brighter, you can always go over with a second application.
Do we even buff these like we do the gilding wax?
Not necessarily. They will come up a little bit, but with these being metallic, you'll get that sort of shine from them anyway once they've dried off. So again, we've got a bit of green there. I'm just looking at where the actual petals are. So again, if you've been a little bit light, you can go back over there and just brighten them up a little bit once you've got the shape where they are. So where they're not quite as bright as the others. Yep. And awesome. Then I'm going to use the fern green to bring out that foliage as well. So exactly the same idea. They're just absolutely gorgeous. I'll use a different finger for this one so that we don't contaminate. And again, where that green leaves are, I'm just going to bring this over the top again. So you can see easily where where the detail is on your folder, where it's raised. And obviously you'll have a lot more time at home to spend instead of us whipping through the demos. But again, you get the idea of where I'm going with it. So let me just pop the lids on there. And again, because we're on a water base, a lot of this will just clean straight off with a little bit of water. All right, I've always got my water spray handy, you can see how it just literally cleans off there. Okay, same with fingers, give it a rub and we'll get rid of that excess off there.
Jean says she spends more time watching Crafter TV and less time crafting. It's so addictive. I think you maybe need to try and do both at the same time, Jan, don't you? So therefore, there'd be no compromise then. Marsha loves this. Beth and Suzanne and Erika all talking about how much they love that last demonstration you did as well.
Yeah. So again, you can see pretty much the same as what I did at home. I've just popped a few. They look as if they've suffered a little bit on the way here. Just a few little liquid pearls on there, just to add a bit more detail. And then I've actually used some of our copper glitter card on the background there, a little bit of mirror card as well, and I've made the card blank out of the black, and I wanted, just to show you that you can use the black just as well. So for this one, I'm going to go to my tacky glue again because I want that glue to seep in to the glitter card. So just on the back here, I'm going to run a bead of the tacky glue round all the way. I'm going to pop a little bit in the back of where the embossing features are, just so that it soaks in there. Would have probably been better out of the bigger bottle, Jan, but hey ho. And then literally this is going to mat and layer on top of that glitter card to give us a double frame there. So again, you're letting that embossing folder do the work for you. You've got that detail there. Why not show it off? Okay, and then I've just chosen a sentiment out of my stash and stamped that with some copper embossing powder again that I'd got at home, just to match it all in with the theme. So just for you on this occasion.
Foam pads?
Oh, I've got them sus, Joe.
Have you? Are you a foam pad convert?
Well, I found my foam sheets.
Ah.
A4 foam sheets on the website, and you just cut them down to whatever size you want. And they behave much better.
They're golden, are they?
Yes.
Awesome.
I found my little niche, so I'm going to pop that at the bottom there. And then again, just to complete it, I've stamped out, so we've got just for you, hope you're feeling better, and I'm just going to do that on the inside, just to match it, just to decorate that inside, and also, as I say, it stabilises the cards a little, if you're wanting to get them to stand up nicely. So we're just going to pop that in there. It's somewhere, if you wanted to just write in a metallic pen, that would look lovely on the black, but this just gives you somewhere to write if you wanted to use an ordinary pen. So you can see there we've got that beautiful peony bouquet. If I stand that one up for you, and that gilding polish is gorgeous. You can just see that metallic sheen from it in the light there, just to keep that feature on that 3D embossing. Really, really pretty. So that's another technique for you there, Joe.
Awesome, I love that, Jan, and just one of so many different things you can do. The great thing, I think, Jan, one of the great things about embossing folders, a little bit like edgeable dies, is that they're universal, aren't they? All the things that you can do with one, pretty much you can do with any of them.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, we could have made that background and then embossed this one just the same as we did with the birthday one. You could make your own background. I've just tried to show you different colourways and different mediums to work on for each one.
Awesome. Let me run you back through what you are getting there then. So you are going to receive the gossamer lace, which is just beautiful, isn't it? So much dimension and detail in there. This one here is the leopard, the lavish leopard print. I just think it's fantastic. I'd love that on a box, actually. I think would look brilliant. The vintage scroll is wonderful. It's very French, isn't it? It's very Napoleon. I don't know. There's something very sort of period about it. Yes. That's the word I'm looking for. It's a bit Bridgerton. That's what I'm thinking. Louis the 14th, yes, Georgina, thank you. Peony Bouquet is the other one that you have. You've also got in there then the Climbing Ivy, which I think looks lovely, you know, with a topper or something over it, Jan, you know, just not having all of that poking up, just a little peek of it.
Just a little bit of
suggestion.
it, yeah. Or you could even cut away some of the middle, couldn't you, and make like an aperture? Could pop little tiny die-cut ivy leaves inside to make a shaker card.
Oh, what a lovely idea. I love that, Jan.
Yeah.
This one here is the Grande Butterfly as well that you have. Check out the shine on that butterfly.
Gorgeous,
absolutely
aren't
awesome. £32 or $46 if you want to get your hands on those. And this is exactly what you have just there. We also have too the Christmas ones, which I'm just about to share with you in a moment. And the great thing is about buying it out of season, as I say, it's like when you buy a hose pipe in February, you know, or a lawnmower in January, or maybe buying, I don't know, a radiator in July. You get a much better deal. It's supply and demand, isn't it? So we've got a half price deal for you. Platinum members, you're going to be saving over an extra, well, another, what, £5 extra on these, which is awesome and more. So you've got your rustic reef, not any old baubles, oh no, opulent baubles, an elegant poinsettia, and then two kind of create card sentiment ones. These remind me of the cut and emboss ones we had earlier with the sentiments in, but these are just embossing. You've got Merry and Bright. You've also got Deck the Halls in there too. $20.97 or $29.85 if you would like to grab a hold of those ones. Now, I am going to share with you some aqua tints. So, I've got these three here. Let me share with you what you're actually getting. So, these are how they come to you. This is what they look like. And you've got three 30ml pots. You're actually getting 90 mils of amazing aqua tint liquid in there. Now, this is a Glitz and Glamour that I've got just here. Do you want to know how many are left, Jan?
Is it getting low?
Very low.
How low is very low?
How low can you go?
Single figures.
Lower, well, yeah, single figures.
Single figures, less than 5?
A single figure.
A?
One. Yeah.
Just one?
There
Oh
is
my God.
a Glitz and Glamour left, and then we're not reordering, so that's it. It's going to be gone forever.
Wow.
Be quick. Summertime is the next one I've got for you, which is that one there. I love this because in there
Really
you've got the
fresh, that one, isn't it?
Really, really lovely. Solar Red, the Emerald Green, and Blue Topaz. That summertime is at half, and I've also got in here the perfect pastels for you too. And in here you've got Moonstone, Cosmos, and Rose Quartz. 9 left of those.
Wow.
So be quick if you want any of those aqua tints. Now, who doesn't love a little bit of sparkle in their life, Jan? I know I do.
Oh, you've got to have a bit of sparkle.
You've got to have a bit of sparkle. I don't know why I love shaking these so much, but I do. These ones are, this is again your Glitz and Glamour, so brilliant, brilliant colours in there. You're going to get the amethyst, the aquamarine and the pink garnet. This one's also limited now as well. You've then got the perfect pastel here, and the perfect pastel, of course, has in there the Moonstone, the Cosmos and the Rose Quartz. And finally, you've also got here, this one is your traditional Christmas, and that has got your glacé cherry, your festive spruce, and your sleigh bell in there, which is brilliant. $12.99, $19.95, but also they're on a 3 for 2, which is brilliant. So do grab a hold of those. Jean said, the best thing ever to happen in Crafters World is all these TV shows that are so much fun and so informative. Allows one to actually be creative with a little help in learning to use all these fabulous products. What a lovely thing to say, Jean. Evelyn says, oh, Jan, love the metallic gilding polish you use. Just got mine in the mail. Laquier said, Jan just made these embossing folders so tempting. Victoria needs to grab some gilding wax. It is on the show for you, Victoria. Pop yourself over to the website and hit that shop the show button. You'll see it in there. Panda Craft says, I love these shows. Most of us have embossing folders, inks and waxes, etc. Sometimes we just need inspirational ideas, so thank you for that, Jan. Gina just says, good morning, love your channel. We love you, Gina. Denise says, shut the front door fan club. Lol, what a fabulous name for your club. I think that's what we called it. I think that was what the name was. Beth says as well, I have to be honest, I love these shows, and since finding them, I watch them like it's my day job. Why not? Mary Lee says, my daughter couldn't remember, this is funny, my daughter couldn't remember what embossing folders were called, so renamed them Smashy Folders. She said, that's what they do to the papers. Slushy folders. Love
Yeah,
that.
why not?
That's what it says on the tin. Well, I tell you what I would love to see is some of your pictures of your favourite embossing projects that you have completed in the past, and really easy for you to send them in to us. All you need to do is just attach them to an email and send that to studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Details are there along the bottom of the screen for you. Right, don't forget this weekend, up until the end of tomorrow, everyone that's in Club Inspire is getting an extra 5% off. If you are new to us, we have so many new people joining us all the time. Hello newbies. Here's the details of our fantastic club.
Welcome to Club Inspire, our free loyalty club. As a member of the club, you can save up to 20% every time you shop with us. For every £1 you spend, whether it's in one of our stores or on our website, you'll collect 1 loyalty point. The more points you have, the more benefits you'll receive. As a welcome present, we'll give you 20% discount with your very first order. Once you place your first order, you'll be given 250 points straight away, making you a bronze member. This will mean that you'll receive a 5% discount on all of your purchases until the end of the next calendar year, plus priority postage. 500 points takes you up to silver membership, where you'll get 10% discount plus free shipping when you spend over £20. When you get to 750 points, you'll become a gold member, which gets you a whopping 15% discount on every order, and we'll ship them to you completely free, no matter how big or small they are. Spend over £25 and we'll send them to you via our premium next day delivery courier service. When you reach 1500 points, you'll become a platinum member, giving you the same shipping benefits as a gold member, but with the added bonus of a massive 20% discount on all of your purchases. Now on top of that, you'll receive exclusive discounts, sneak peeks of brand new products, special offers and money-saving vouchers. You'll have access to an exclusive secret Facebook group to meet like-minded friends, to find out information first and to be inspired by all the Crafty makes. Become a member of our club today.
I'm just working out how small my head's going to look on Monday, Jan, when I get my hair cut finally for the first time.
I think we're all in the same boat, aren't we?
In several months. Look,
My poor little dogs are
like...
like they look like something off the street, honestly, because they've not been to the groomers either. And my little Yorkie he's like this, you can't see through his fur. Bless him.
Yeah, so in the UK here on Monday, shops open again, the hairdressers are opening up and we can go and sit outside at a pub or restaurant. It's going to be a fabulous, fabulous day. Speaking of fabulous, Jan, these Christmas folders are awesome and they're on a half price deal. It's definitely a right place, right time situation, I think.
It is. They're a really nice collection. To be honest, I'd not seen some of these before. And I think, you know, like you said, it's buying them out of season, you're going to get the deal. If these come back later in the year, when we're into, you know, when we get to June and we start Christmas crafting, you can bet your life that that bundle deal's not going to be on the same offer. So yeah, there's a lot of nice ones in here. I think, did you show the night before Christmas, Joe? Or
Do you know
did
what?
I miss that one?
I don't think I did.
Because I didn't see that in your collection.
Oh, now how many have we got in here?
Then?
Well, let's double check. Let's just have a moment. Oh, I'm trying to shortchange people.
Oh, I didn't know whether it was me that had just glanced away when you were showing it, and I thought, oh, have I picked the wrong one? Because I always manage to pick the one that's sold.
I'm shortchanging you.
Have you got 5
not
there?
5. You get 6. I only had 5.
6, yeah. So this is the 6th one then, a night before Christmas, and it is gorgeous. It's got that lovely sort of scenic rooftops on there. Yeah, just along the along the bottom, and then you've got Santa and his reindeer flying across the sky with the moon in there. So we're going to do that letterpress technique that we talked about with this one. So again, nice 6x6, and they are a 3D folder. So we need to be mindful of that plate combination. Now, when yours comes, it will be a traditional embossing folder colour. But when you look at Jan's, it looks a little bit tinted purely because I use the dark blue ink in there. Now, it's not going to damage it, it just stains it a wee bit, but it still works absolutely fine. So from that blue collection of inks, I've gone for the real dark one. We're going to go with the midnight ink in this one, and this is opaque again, so you can still do your techniques with this one. And then I've brought in my brayer, which I like to use just to get that flat surface. You can go direct to the embossing folder with the ink pad, but the opaque ink pads have a sponge applicator on top, and they're very easy to over ink. Personally, I'm talking from personal experience because I'm quite heavy-handed, and what you don't want to do is push ink into the areas that are going to emboss. I want the background embossed to make the sky. So what we need to do is examine our folder again, and we need to have a look inside and work out where that raised area is, which is on this side. And then I've got the recessed area here. So again, it's going to push up through the cardstock and trap it in that recessed area. So I want that part to stay white. So I actually want to ink up the flat background so that the ink goes into the back of the design. Now, if you're not sure which is which, have a little trial run with it and ink both sides up, and you'll find out which way. So you'll get like the relief and the other version of it. So I'm just going to spin this round because I'm right-handed, and I'm literally going to take my ink pad and load my brayer up with that lovely, this colour is gorgeous. It really is proper lush.
Which one is it?
Navy, the Midnight.
Nice.
Yeah. So again, just loading the brayer up with all that nice ink on there. You can see now that it's transferred to my roller. And then literally, because this is flat, it's going to miss. Can you see where the gaps are?
Yeah.
So again, I want to make sure that this goes over the top piece where the background is, but it's going to leave that area that's going to be embossed so that it pushes through and it stays white. And I don't tend to, you can, I've seen people go straight in with the ink pad, but just talking from my own experience, I don't get as good a sort of effect with it because I tend to push the ink into the background. I've got a little bit going on here, look. So I'm just going to take that out because I don't want it in that background. So just on the back of the, where the sky is. Just spread it out so you've got a nice even coverage. All right, I'll come back to that in a second. And then I've taken a piece of our stamping card, just slightly smaller again than the actual folder. And I'm going to put that in the other side. I'm not going to try and get it straight and move this ink about. Pop it on the side that's clear and then literally fold this over onto it. And then don't move that. Keep it together. 3D folder again, so we just need to be mindful of that sandwich. So I'm going to go with my clear plate and my magnetic shim to build up the right depth. Pop this one in and then put the plastic shim as my top plate. So for our Geminis, that's the sequence you need for any of the 3D folders. And then pop it through. And what it's going to do, it's going to push the embossing up through the card, but it's also going to transfer that ink into the background. So you get a really nice effect. So let's have a little look and see whether Jan's done it right, because I've been known to do this and end up inking the wrong side up, and then you end up with the reverse of it. So when we look in here now, you can see that we've got that lovely
nice
sort of background going on here. Now that could be your card. You could add some, if you've got the clear sparkle pens, you know, you could actually go over the clear areas with the sparkle, which I've done a little bit on here on the one that I'd prepared. But we're actually going to work on this bit. I just thought this lent itself to being layered. Because you've got a background layer, you've got a second one and a third one in the foreground. I just saw that in different coloured layers. Now, as far as your folder's concerned, either a damp cloth with some water on, or if you use the wipes, because all our inks are water-based, this is literally just going to wipe out of your folder. And you can see why, because it's such a dark colour, it just stained it a wee bit. But I'm not too worried about that. As I say, it's not going to damage the folder itself. It just stains the actual plastic.
Jan's trusty cloth.
My little bit of rag. I know it's like having a comfort blanket when you were little, isn't it?
How old is the cloth?
How old's my
cloth?
cloth?
We had a discussion about this.
I dread to think, honestly. I
have.
do keep renewing them, and I do wash them occasionally.
Right.
But it's just everything, it gets everything wiped up. So you can see how it's just stained it a wee bit, but it's not going to damage it. It all comes up clean again, good to go. So what I want to do with this now then is I've actually sort of embossed this 3 more times. So just on the plain white cardstock, I've embossed it, and I've just embossed from sort of the church spire downwards. I didn't need all the top section.
Heat embossed it, or?
No, embossed it
Re-embossed
through the
it.
machine, re-embossed
Okay.
different pieces of card. And then what I've done is I took some of the blue gilding polish and I've cut out around that background layer, which was the church spires. And you can just see that gorgeous blue. So don't worry about the bit that I've missed because I'm going to layer some more over the top of it. So this is going to go onto here. And then I've cut it again and I've actually done this with the ocean blue out of our blue ink pad range, yeah? So I wanted a mixture of the matte from the ink pads and the sheen from the polish. And then I've cut this one, I've cut the spires away from this one. So this is actually going to show that blue behind it here. And then each of these, I've taken my gilding wax and I've just caught the tops of it as if the moon is casting light along the rooftops. And then the last one, I've used that gorgeous teal. This has to be one of my favourites, the teal polish. And I've done the same again. And then this one, these are right in the foreground. And you've got 3 separate pieces here for these because the other buildings are behind. So you can see we're going to layer all this up at the bottom just to create even more depth in that card. So let's have a look. I think I was going to put the bottom one on flat and I've put some tape on there just because we're going onto card that's been inked. So if it's got any kind of medium on it, I normally go with the red line tape so that you're going to get a good stick. And literally line this up with the one that we've already done. So just covering that white layer, and these will actually just sit in place on the bottom of the card there. And then I've put foam pads on the back. They've become my friend, Joe. Honestly,
You've gone from foe to friend, haven't you?
I've just what did I say about finding the right product? People say to me, I can't do this, I'm no good at that. And it's about finding the right product. And I found mine. Because I'm going on to the polish again, and it's not just a plain cardstock, I'm just going to add a little bit of wet glue to the back of those foam pads, just so that we get a really good stick onto that other medium. And then again, line this one up so that the tops of those roofs just cover that dark blue layer. So you can see where we've got to so far. And then I've got these last 3 again. And I'm going to do the same again because we're onto an ink. Little bit of glue on there. And we've got one for this side. We've got one. Whoops. Go on, don't let me down now.
Jan.
Now I'm actually saying
I thought you've just bigged up these foam pads
and now I've got one that's been stubborn. It's like, ha, fooled you.
I use them for the Try It Tuesday on Tuesday, and I must admit I got myself in a right old state, Jan.
I think they're either a love or hate. So that's
Craig loves them, doesn't he?
He does, honestly, and he just... But yeah, these, I have found this, and I like the fact that you can cut them to what size your project is. So if you wanted a large piece, you can cut a large piece off to go in one rather than putting several ink pads on one piece. So again, that's just finding that area. So you can see there, if we move those out of the way, you can see how we've got that sort of layering going on now and some depth in that card. If I lift it up to the bottom, you can see here, whoops, there we are, look, where you've got that nice depth through it. So again, I've made a card blank and I've gone with a blue card blank. I've tried to be a little bit, I use such a lot of white for card blanks. I thought I'll try something different today. And we've got a bit of that lovely gold mirror card that was left over. So because I've used the gold gilding wax on there, I've picked the blue out from the background there. So again, because I'm going onto there, I think I might just have enough tape left. Oh, no, we haven't. Oh, well, we've got one side taped. I'm running out of everything today, aren't I? I'll do with it'll work with the tape pen. So we're going down here. Whoops, it's because I've built up the sides now. The tape runner's not the best.
For going over your squidgy bits?
Yeah, it's because I've got it all built up. We should be okay on that one, yeah. It's because it's built up. So we're going to have 3 glues on one. Look at this, had a bit of everything on here. Why not?
Why not?
Literally take that piece off here and we're going to pop this on top of that gold, just a little tiny gold border peeking out, just to echo that gilding wax that we'd used, and just get that pop down all 4 sides. And then what I did at home just before, in fact I've not swapped it over, I used the one I've just done, but again with the crystal glitter pen, just make sure you don't catch the ink, because you don't want to move the ink, but just on these layers that I'd left white, I've just gone over that with the crystal glitter pen, and it just gives it a little tiny bit of a shimmer. Oops, there we go, look, we've got a blue reindeer. As I said, try not to catch the ink. He's got a cold tummy, that one.
Oh dear.
He's been out in the night sky too long. Yep. There we go, look, just to give it, and it's not a lot, but once it's dried, it's just enough to give that little bit of shimmer. And then, again, I've just made a plaque. You're kidding me.
You've got another one gone.
I'm using too many. I'm going to have to resort to my dots now.
To try you
That's
today.
two tape pens I've gone through, and a roll of me tape, honestly. Oh. I don't like using me dots. I feel as if I'm wasting them. Just using.
See, the dots is the go-to one.
Is it?
Yeah, I love the dots.
Again, I love them. Don't get me wrong, but I prefer to save them for my intricate dies. I feel as if I'm wasting them when I just use them on ordinary cardstock. So I've not put anything inside there. I've just used the blue to matte on it again. So when we turn that one round, you can see that lovely letterpress technique in the background to give you that blue night sky. And then you've got that lovely layering on the bottom just to see that sort of little village in the night.
Really, really
so
beautiful.
Different again for you.
Just one of so many things you can do. So you're going to get the one that Jan just showed you included. You're also going to get these other 5 also. So I'll just take you through them. You're going to get the rustic reef, which is this one here. You're also getting the opulent baubles, the elegant poinsettia, and then these 2 landscape ones. You've got merry and bright. And you've also got Deck the Halls in there too, $20.97 or $29.85. Use your Club Inspired discount on there as well. Right, let's go back to the start. So I want to share with you again these fantastic 6x6 folders that we've got for you. Now these are brilliant because they are in that 6x6 size, which is awesome. So you've got this one just here, which is your Spring Forest. You've also got the Set in Stone, the trellis swirls. You are also going to receive as well this one here, which is the brick layers too. So you're getting all 4 of those in there, $15.50 or $22. Don't forget as well that as part of our weekend event, you are getting an extra 5% off when it comes to your Club Inspired discount, which is awesome. I've also got the cut and emboss collection for you, the everyday cut and emboss collection. These are fantastic. They're like a try that again, get my teeth in. They're like a creator card, but within a cut and emboss folder, because one pass and really, you haven't got much to do. You don't have a huge amount of aperture, so if you just are, doing something funky in the aperture, it isn't going to take you very long at all. You've got classic birthday. You've also got classic congrats, classic friend, home, love, and you've got thanks in there too. So you've got all of those for you. £35 or $40 if you want to get your hands on those ones. Right, up next we are going to be having a look at the best of British that we've got for you. Now these are great because these will actually go through your mini if you want them to. We launched them with the best of British collection, but there's absolutely 0 reasons why you can't use these on a whole host of other projects. And in here you're going to get the picket fence, that postcard, which I think is really usable, would play nicely with the new Sarah Signature collection that's coming on Monday as well. If you are stateside and you're going to be watching the HSM preview later, you will be getting a sneak peek and a first look of that. You've also got the London skyline and you've got the beach huts in there too, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. $11.50 or $14.50 if you want to get your hands on those. My fave collection in the show though are these ones, and they are our beautiful 3D embossing folder. 3D means it's got extra sculpture, extra depth, extra dimension. It's your favourite at home as well in this show. You've got the gossamer lace, you also have the lavish leopard print, vintage scroll, peony bouquet, climbing ivy, and you're getting also the grande butterfly in there as well. £32 or $46 is your price there. Now, I'm just going down into the craft vault, here we are, and I'm just gonna grab my paper pads for you. It's got some gorgeous ones on this show. Really nice as well. It's all about the sort of, the coloured cardstock, not patterns for you, but a lot of the different coloured cardstocks. So you've got your natural tones in here. Now, maybe not the most exciting paper pad, but definitely one you're gonna use a lot of because you've got all of your blacks, greys and whites in here, which are an absolute essential, as the name states. So you've got that one, $19.99 or $24.95 there. We also have both of these as well, by the way, are 230 GSM. So they are not a paperweight, they are a cardstock, something that you can cut, you can emboss, you can die cut, you'll even be able to construct with these as well if you want to. So they're a really good, versatile all-rounder. They've got a slight texture to them as well. This one is a 180, so this is more of a conventional paper pad weight. It is your everyday brights. Now, this is brilliant. If you were just fairly new to crafting, going for this is brilliant because it gives you such a broad spectrum of colour all in the one pad, which is awesome. So that is your everyday brights. Then in the 8x8, I've got the brights, which is a 230 GSM. Again, beautiful. And this is a linen texture again in here. This was one of the original paper pads that we did actually. Really gorgeous. And you get 36 sheets in there. Now this next one, I love this next one because 72 sheets in here, which is absolutely loads. This is your all occasions bright. 72 sheets, but it's 300 GSM. Now I'm pretty sure that is the thickest weight of cardstock we do in a pad. So, I mean, beautiful, loads of different color tones too, lots of ascending tones. So if you wanted to do things like your mats and layers, and you wanted to build that color up in ascending tones, you absolutely can do that with those, which is brilliant. Right, let's see what you're up to. Let's see what you're chatting away in the comments here as well. Nona saying how much she loves her 3D embossing folders, particularly the ones with the stencils. Oh, Christine's got those textured pads and absolutely loves them. Let me just grab where I am. I've just had a bit of a moment with my iPad and I've forgotten where I am. I'm going to start from the bottom, work my way back up. That'll do, won't it? Wendy says, oh dear, I think I'm going to have to get some of those polishes when they're back in stock. If anything is out of stock on our website, where it says it's out of stock, underneath there is a box in which you can input your email address. Put your email address in there. We'll email you as soon as it comes back in stock, so you have to keep checking back the whole time. Gloria says, thank you, Crafters TV. I look at your show so much. I had my cable shut off. We're saving you money, Gloria. Carol says that's a beautiful card. Lots of love for your demonstrations. Claudia loving the 3D folders. Greta says, Joe's looking great. Not sure what the changes are, but it is working. Greta, thank you. Heidi likes my longer hair. I'm not so sure, Heidi. I think we're going to go short. Not all the way off, because a couple of years ago, I just got a bit fed up and do you remember Jan? Jan didn't like it. This is when I used to work at Create and Craft. Jan didn't like it. Debbie didn't like it when I used to work with a team. Debbie actually said to me, please just don't shave it all off again, will you? I said, okay, I won't. Judy is saying, I don't even need a haircut. Judy, I can post pictures that will assure you otherwise. Let me believe you. Let me believe you? Let me tell you. Right, anyway, enough chatter about my hair. Let me give you an opportunity to check out those baskets. So whilst you do that, let's share with you how you can watch and shop at the same time. Hi, I'm Joe from Crafters TV, and I'm here to show you how you can grab the best deals and shop whilst you watch during our shows. So the best way to watch us is always on Crafters TV. Head on over to our homepage and go to Crafters TV. You can see all of our shows, offers, and even shop while you watch. Now if you want to get involved and comment along, head over to our Facebook page. Come say hello, ask us some questions, and lol with us. Or you can watch us on YouTube. Simply head to our Crafters Companion YouTube channel. Got a smart TV? You can even AirPlay directly onto your big screen. We're constantly adding new and exciting shows to our schedule, so don't forget to check in. It's never been easier to have us in your living room. It's always fun here at Crafters TV, so come join us as we create every day. We do create every single day, which is awesome. And talking of creating, that's exactly what Jan's going to do now, isn't it, Jan?
It is. I'm going to have a play with that Best of British collection. Absolutely gorgeous. And again, like Joe said, even though they came out with the collection, there's nothing to stop you using these individually. And that's what I'm going to show you with this particular demo. So I've chosen the postcard, which is just on its own right. It's gorgeous. But I'm going to couple it up with those little beach huts, and we're going to make a box, a memory box for keeping sort of, I love at the beach, and we managed to get up to our caravan last week to do,
nice.
Just to, not to stay, we weren't allowed to stay, but we were allowed to go and put all the water and the gas back on and get it ready, because as from Monday, we can go back.
Me and Debbie are trying to plan a trip to the coast.
Yeah.
We want to go to Scarborough for the day. She wants to go to Winking Willie's fish and chip shop and go on a little boat trip,
So yeah, I'm going to take the postcard out first, and I've got some cream cardstock that we're going to pop inside there. So these are just 2D folders, and I'm literally going to pop that all the way inside, and we're going to emboss that one. And then again, I've got this lovely little 3x6 one, so this would fit through your mini. So it'll go through all the machines right down to the mini, this one. And again, a bit of cream in here, just because I wanted the postcard to have a cream background, and obviously because I'd cut into cream, I ended up with a piece, but we're going to change the colour of this one. So literally pop that, and these will both go through together. So 2D folders, we need to go back to our 2 clear cutting mats for this one, for the Gemini. So whatever your combination is, just for normal embossing if you're not using a Gemini. And I'm going to put those both inside there, and we can emboss them both in one pass through there.
Awesome.
They would both fit through. This one will fit through the Junior and the Midi, the postcard, and the small one, as I say, will fit through all of your machines, including the Mini. So we'll just get the clunk in there, was just because I'd put both of them in, and the rollers had to get across all of them. So don't be worried if your machine does make those noises. And then literally we work with the postcard first. So I've actually got, just want to cut, it's got, if you can just see around the edge, it's got the outline of the postcard there. So I'm just going to trim away to start off with that spare cardstock. I just want that lovely raised edge. You can do this with your trimmer if you wish. I just took my scissors and followed the line of the embossing there just to get rid of that excess cardstock. I tried cutting the card down to size, but you've got to be so precise with your positioning to get all that embossed edge around it. So I worked out in the long run, after about 3 attempts, that to have a little bit bigger piece of card, Jan, and then just snip it away, and you've got the perfect size in there for what we want. And then I want to distress this. I want to make it look a bit more oldie worldy. So I've got one of my water reactive inks, and I've got one of the blues from that lovely blue pigment ink section, the pale blue. So I'm going to take the sandstone first, and just very lightly, I'm just going to try and change the colour of this to make it look a little bit. So this is your traditional blending with the blending tool there and the foam applicator, just in circles, and I want it to go sort of a little bit mottled, you know, like parchment paper. I don't want an all over coverage with it, so I'm literally just being a bit hit and miss just to pop that colour in there.
It's a shame we don't send postcards anymore, Jan, isn't it?
Oh, I know.
I used to love getting a postcard from
I love
holiday.
anything written, Joe. I'm not fond of this. I know emailing's, you know, quick and fast and all this, that and the other, but I would much rather receive a handwritten letter any day than an email or anything like that. So again, I'm just going to pop a little bit of that blue pigment, and it is very pale, this one, but I just want, as I say, a little bit of colour. And again, I'm just picking up little bits of it in areas. And you can always add a bit with your blending tool if you need to. But I want to sort of get that mottledy effect going on. So you can see where it's just changing the colour slightly on there. I'll give it a good show when we've got it done properly. And then I want some on that stamp just to make it look a bit, that's it. And then again, I'm going to bring my little quiet heat tool up and give that a heat dry. I know I'm just off there, but I just want to clean that, and then we can show you what I'm doing. So again, just to dry that ink off.
It's not on, Jan.
It's not on, it is. I love it.
It's like a magic key tool. I swear you just like, I just can't
really
believe
hot.
that. I can't believe
Yeah.
that you're doing it from over here.
Yeah. It is, it's really hot. So I can
You're
get
a
away
wizard,
with,
Jan.
I can get away with using that later on when he's watching telly and I'm
Right,
not,
is that what it is?
Yeah, Jan, turn the heat tool off. I can't hear the telly. You can't hear me very well at the best of times. But can you just see, if I bring this one up close now, how we've got that little bit of sort of texture, not texture, sort of, it's like oldie worldiness, as if that's been around a little while, that postcard there. So that's that one. And then the beach huts, I'm actually going to use the blue with the sponge applicator this time. So again, I'm going to bring this in on the sponge and I want to actually change this one to blue. So again, I'm just going to bring it all the way over. This is the pigment ink. It could be your water reactive ink, just the same. I tend to sort of grab whichever ones. The pigment inks are out on my desk and the water reactive inks are at the side of me. So it's easier to go there than it is at the side. So I end up with the pigment ones a lot. But I do like the fact that they're slightly paler and you get that lovely sort of chalky finish. It's just preference. You know, there's no right or wrong with it. But I wanted this to go all blue to start with, and then we're going to do a little bit more work on it to bring it out. So again, piece of cream cardstock there's just been totally transformed with the embossing. You can see that embossing better there with that on. Just get, whoop, nearly. Oh, that was a good reflex then, yeah. I could just see that rolling off the edge of the desk at the side of me, so clean that off there and you can see we've got this to play with now. So very, very pale. You can see the embossing there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my Illustrator pens and just add a bit of coloured detail. So again, just the gorgeous turquoisey blues. These are the aquatic section. And I've got these coming up on the Craft House later if you were interested in any of the pens. So
Fantastic.
I want those turquoisey colours here. In fact, I'll use both. We'll use the light blue and the turquoise there. And all I'm going to do is colour in sections of it. So I just want to do the doorway just to highlight each of those little huts. Okay. So just to bring that in with a little bit of colour all the way around. Whoops.
We don't need to worry about using the Illustrator then over the top of the ink pads, not going to contaminate nibs or anything like that?
Not at all. It's not going to bring it off. So once that ink's dry under there, it's the only thing that will dislodge it is water. Okay. And because these are an alcohol pen, obviously the two are not going to mix, so your ink is safe. If I was using an aqua marker, that's a water-based one, or a sparkle pen direct onto the ink, you might get a little bit of movement. But because this is alcohol, as I say, that it's like trying to mix oil and water.
Right.
So and then I'm going to do the opposite two in the blue colour. So straight over the top, just to give a bit of highlight in there, in the little doorways. I think I did this at home with
It reminds me of Norfolk, these beach huts.
Oh,
There's
I love the little beach huts.
Specific place in Norfolk called Wells. Wells next to the sea, it's called, oddly. I don't know why it's got a funny name like that, but it's there's a lovely line of them along sort of the biggest, widest beach you've ever walked on. It's absolutely gorgeous, yeah.
And where's that, sorry?
Wells next to the sea. It's kind of on the North Norfolk coast.
Oh, right.
So it's like about 45 minutes from King's Lynn, kind of that kind of way. No one knows where King's Lynn is. It's near Norwich, basically.
Just put a little bit there, so we've done that. And then I'm going to come back in again. Now, I said don't put the sparkle pen over your inks because it would move it. But we're going back to a water-based medium now. So over the top of the alcohol pen, it's not going to move it. So again, just by bringing this over the top, we're going to have sparkly beach hut doors. What more could you ask for?
What is better than a beach hut?
Okay.
A sparkly beach hut,
a sparkly beach hut. What more could you ask for, Joe?
Absolutely.
Okay. So just over the top there. And again, I've got one that I did at home that's dry. So when I bring this one, it's a little bit darker detail on here. You can see where you've got those lovely, that's where we'd got to with it, but I've had a bit more time to spend on it at home there, a bit more ink on it, I think. And you can see where those little doors are just catching the light with that sparkle pen there. Okay, so beautiful. That's that one. And then I'll bring this one in. Again, you can see I've done a little bit more work on it at home, a little bit more ink in, just to make it, you can see that one better, a bit more distressed. So we'll go with those two that I've done. So what we're going to do now then is we're going to pop together my box just to start off. So again, I wanted a decent size box because I want to make this into a memory box. So I've actually used 2 pieces of card and stuck it together ready to make myself a decent size. So I just need to pop the base in there just to stick that together. So I'm going to do that with some collal so that it's got a nice sort of, we need a sturdy bottom, Joe.
Don't we all?
We don't need anything that's going to fall apart. So I think anytime you apply the glue, the all-purpose glue in there, you've got that sort of extra layer of it sort of dries like cement, so you get that extra layer. Yeah, it sort of gives
it extra weight and thickness, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yes.
Like it dries like a resin, I guess, almost.
Yes, sort of. That's a good way of putting it, actually. So again, I'm going to put that one on there, and we need a little bit just along that edge there.
Does it dry fairly quickly, this glue?
It does actually, yeah. I mean, you've probably got about 5 minutes or so before it's actually set.
But it's not like something like a 3D glue gel that takes, you know, maybe 24 hours
because
to go off.
the reason the 3D glue takes a wee bit longer is because it's holding that shape. So in order for it to set well enough to hold the shape, it does take a bit longer. But this will probably, in about 5 minutes, it should be dry. So I've got that nice deep base for the box. And we're not going to make an inverted box today. I've done my measurements today. And then I've chosen some Centura Pearl, one of my favourites in the Pacific. It's, oh, good guess. My producer's just saying, is it Pacific? It is, I love it. It's like that tealy colour, and it matched in nicely with what we were doing here. So in order to mount these on the top, I've gone again for a piece of the cream cardstock, and I've used some of that lovely textured embossing powder just to create.
Nice.
I was going for the sand. Sort of,
were these the Andy Skinner ones?
Yes,
lovely.
yes. So there are some of those left, I think,
there are.
On the show. But again, I've just built it up in areas to try and make it look as if it was the sand for us to work on. So again, because it's been embossed and I've had the heat on it, I've just put my 3mm tape on there, my red line tape, just to make sure it's safe. And again, with it being a box that's going to be used, I want to make sure that it's got enough stick. So we're going to do a little bit of this in the middle of it.
Andy Skinner, who's the guy who designs the embossing polish you just talked about, when I worked in a previous job, he gave me like a resin heart that he'd moulded out of like some sort of, I don't know what it was. It's very light, but it looks like concrete, Jan.
Oh.
And I found it the other day in a box of stuff, and it was like 4 years old. Yeah,
he does some fabulous.
Funny that you've just used that
projects.
and the name's come back up again. Yeah, I just found it the other day. I thought it was fantastic.
And then we're going to go with, because I'm going on to the emboss. You see why my roll of tape had run out now, Joe? Honestly, because I'm going on to the embossed detail, again, I want to make sure that this is going to stick.
You got red liner loco with this, haven't you?
I love my red line tape. I probably use it more than I should. I think there's probably a bit more to come yet, look.
Goodness
There's no
me.
wonder I'd got none left, is there? But yeah, as I say, I want this to be something that we're going to use. We're going to keep our memories in it. So again, this one's going to go at an angle like so. And then I'm going to do this one again across there on another angle. So yeah, there's no wonder that roll of tape had run out. It's a good job I've got a new one at the ready in the craft room at home.
You'll be set.
Honestly, I get through it like nothing on earth. I do use it a lot, I must admit. So this one's going to go at an opposite angle there, like that. And then in my stash at home, I've been having a rummage again. And I've got these gorgeous little wording tiles, little letter tiles. So it just says memories on here.
Nice.
So those are all individual letters. You buy them as an alphabet sheet. And I've had them in the drawer for ages. And I thought, do you know what? They'll be great for this. And again, I've got some of that, look at this. My foam tape that just comes off. And again, because we're going over those different, whenever I come across different textures, I like to add a little bit of wet glue to the back of the foam pads, just so that it soaks in, because part of this is going to hit the embossing here. And we're just going to pop this along the bottom there. And then the last thing we need to do, and I do prefer to decorate the boxes while they're flat. I find it easier because you've got a surface to press against, whereas when you've put your box together, it's hollow in the middle. So you can always put something inside it if you forget, inside the box that you've got something to press onto. But then this way, we're just going to pop this together to make those nice corners. Okay, so in there, and the last one in there. And if we've measured it right today, instead of making an inverted box, we should have the right fit for it to go on the top there. So we've got a nice sturdy little box, decent depth. You could actually decorate the sides of this as well if you want, add a bit more detail. And we've got that lovely memory box there for things that we're going to do at the seaside. So collecting postcards, collecting shells, bits of things that we find at the seaside. So yeah, I think we're actually going to, well, I don't know, you may vote it for the show, but if you don't, it's going up to our caravan. Okay.
Awesome. Right, I'll let you just get all your makes together, Jan, and we'll do that vote for the card of the show.
Brilliant.
We'll also then oddly do the vote for the demonstration of the day, even though there's another show to come later. It was pre-recorded earlier. I know, it blows my mind too. I'll tell you about that in a second. So let me share with you what you're getting in the Best of British. You've got the picket fence, the postcard, you're getting the London skyline, and you're getting there as well the beach huts too. So definitely grab those. I also want to share with you, again, the 3D embossing folders that we've got on the show today. So in here, you've got the gossamer lace, which is this one just here, which is beautiful. You're also going to get the lavish leopard print, the vintage scroll, peony bouquet, climbing ivy, and grande butterfly. So absolutely make sure you grab those. Right. I want to share. Let Jan share with us the lovely things she's made in the show, and we need you to vote on them too. So
we started out at the top of the show. I can't believe how quick it's gone again, Joe.
So fast.
So this was using that set of 4 2D folders with all the different textures on. So this was number 1.
Brilliant.
Okay, so we'll pop that one down at the front there, and then the second one was the cut and emboss folder, with that lovely birthday greeting cut out of there, and then the waste used inside. That was number 2. Number 3, we used the 3D folders. We went on to 3D from 2D and actually did that gilding polish on those beautiful peonies in there. So that was number 3. Number 4, we did the letterpress technique where we put that beautiful midnight ink inside the folder. And then I just added a little sentiment to that one. I'd forgotten that. And then you've got that build-up of the village at the bottom there. So that was number 4. And then the last one we've just done was our little memory box with the beach huts on there and the postcard, just to actually keep all those precious memories in. So that one's number 5.
Awesome. Right, you've got 5 minutes to vote, guys. So you do that either over on Facebook Crafters TV or across on YouTube under Crafters Companion. Let's share with you some of the awesome pictures that you guys have been sending in to us too. So Anne sent this one in, the lovely Anne in Connecticut. I love this, Jan, how she's used the animals there over the woodland background. It's really lovely.
That's pretty, isn't it? That's like those I think they're like birch trees, aren't they? Really pretty.
Love that. Brilliant. Carol Black's been very busy. She's used one of those decorative panels, which are awesome.
Do you know, I've not got my hands on those yet. Those are on my wish list. That is beautiful. I like the colour tones in it as well.
Love that. Evelyn as well has sent us in this one, which is beautiful. Love the colours there.
Yeah, we've got that texture in the embossing folder, haven't we? It looks as if it's had gilding wax on it, and then she's got the added detail at the front there.
Nice.
I like it. It's almost, is it shaving foam in the background as well?
Yeah, I think it might be actually.
It looks like it, doesn't it? There's so many different.
I'm coming round. Stay
You're
there.
coming round.
I'm going round. I'm going round.
Have a look.
I think it's shaving foam.
It does look like it, yeah, but there's so many different techniques on there. That's beautiful, Evelyn.
Really
well
gorgeous. Gwenda G has sent in this one here too.
Oh, again, that's those cut and emboss folders. Yep, I like how you reuse the lettering again. Yep, awesome. Fantastic.
Joe's been busy also. I love how opulent this one is.
That
Really
one's
gorgeous,
the peonies
isn't it?
there, isn't it? Like the one I used in the demo. So yeah, highlighted with different colours, very similar to the one that I did with the gilding polish.
Now, Karen Fisher, talk about thinking outside the box, Jan.
Look at him, that is gorgeous. He would have my vote for card of the show.
Really?
That, I love that. Again, just taking it that step further and using it for something different. Well done, Karen. That is brilliant.
Love that.
Love it.
Nancy sent this one in to us as well.
That's the
Is
lilies
this
and
waxes again?
I'm not sure what's on there. It
Or
looks
is that
as if
inks? Is
could
it maybe
be-
Midas?
I'm not sure whether it's it could be sparkle. It's not catching the camera. I'm just wondering if she's got some sparkle ink on the lilies there.
Beautiful, however you've
Really
achieved that,
pretty
Nancy.
with
She also,
sympathy.
Nancy's very talented. She sent this one in as well, Jan.
That's got one of the word edgeables on. Yeah, just literally splitting. I often cut into my embossing folders. You've seen me do it before where I've embossed a piece and then chopped it into 3 or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, love how she's got the wording in there. That's
Really
a
lovely.
really good idea.
Nancy T. Susie T sent us this one in as well, which is again very
that
detailed.
is really pretty. That looks like one of the ones that came with one of the machines, I think. The little 3D folder there. Again, beautiful with it's pink. What can I say? I love the pink, Susie. You've got my vote every time.
Susie's also been using those 6x6 ones and have made
Yep.
something very effective
Got
with
those
those.
swirls on that. Oh, I like the black with the craft. Is it black or navy? With the craft
think it's
card.
black.
That looks extreme. Oh, I might have to have a go with that. And then I think there's some gilding wax on there again to tie it all in.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Rosalind's also sent these ones
Some
in to
very
us.
talented crafters out there. Oh, that's that gorgeous studded leather in the background there with that beautiful dress.
Really,
and then the
really
shoe
gorgeous.
on there as well. Yep. Fantastic.
Right. Really lovely. So lovely to see so many creations from our talented crafters. I think it's absolutely incredible. I want to run you back through these 3D textured embossing folders that we've got available for you on the show. So remember what you're getting in here: the gossamer lace, the lavish leopard print, the vintage scroll, peony bouquet, climbing ivy, and finally the grande butterfly. So do grab those if if you don't own them already. I think at that price it'd be great to get your hands on them. Michelle saying we have lovely coloured beach huts here in Blythe. We've got a lovely beach too. Oh, I'll have to go and check it out, Jan, at some point. Lot of people have found the booklet for the upcoming HSM preview, which will be happening later. A lot of love for chinoiserie. It's taken me a long time to learn how to say that, Jan. Chinoiserie. There we are. But anyway, we're going to go back to Jan. We're just waiting on the card of the show vote, Jan. I might have to pause you as soon as I get it in, but for now we'll cross back to you.
Some card up so that I can show you some of those other folders. So I know the majority of them are the 5x7s. So I'm going to just pop some pieces through there. And then we can have a look at the textured ones you said, didn't you? Let's see what we've got there. So
it's number 3, Jan, is the winner.
Number 3.
So I'm going to come and win that.
That
win
was that
from
one,
you.
wasn't it? Yeah.
I'm going to come and grab that from you, and we'll also do card of the show. Thank you.
So let's have a look what we've got then. So I've got those beautiful vintage scroll, and again 3D. So we need that same combination of plates. So I need a clear one, my magnetic shim, and then we're going to pop the cardstock inside there. And I've just cut this down again to fit in.
Awesome. Whilst you're running that
pop
through,
that.
Jan, I might just quickly get this demo of the day done, if that's all right with you.
That's fine.
So I want to share with you what you're going to vote between. This, you won't have seen this yet. Now, because we have the HSM preview happening on the Crafters Companion USA page a little later in a couple of hours, we have pre-recorded the Craft House, which you'll be able to see here on Crafters TV. Now, it's featuring new Dreamies products, and if there was a reason to tune in, gosh, it has to be this, doesn't it? And there was an awesome special guest too. Now, this is brilliant. So do you want card creation number 1, let's call it, because this is our MDF Dreamy pieces that have been used here. So number 1 or number 2? Number 1 or number 2? I always feel like an optician when I do this.
Optician, yeah.
Number 1,
when they show you that
clear
plug
with,
hole.
clear or without.
They never look
Clear
any
with,
different to me.
Yeah, number 1 and that's number 2. You've got 4 minutes to vote, so crack on with that. You can do that over on Crafters TV on Facebook or in the comments on YouTube. If I was a betting man, I know where my money would be, Jan, is all I'm saying.
Do you? I'm thinking there's not a lot of contest there, personally, but then that's only my opinion. Right, I'm
We
a
shall
piece
see.
of cardstock short. I've done 4 of these and I'll show you what they look like. And what I've done is, you know, with that A4 plate, there's nothing to stop you actually popping both of these through together. So the first 2 that I did, we've got that gorgeous leopard print going on there. So when we take this one out, just have a look
It's
at the
lavish.
detail. Honestly, it is beautiful, isn't it? And again, adding some gilding wax to there or some of the polishes to it, just to highlight. It could be an ink background and get some of the black ink out to highlight with. So that was your lavish leopard print. Leopard, was he? Just a leopard. And then we have got the vintage scroll. Just look at this one again. I've done this on some of the
Gorgianius.
card, but just really regal looking.
It's an
I think.
eleganza, extravaganza, that one.
But again, if you did this on something like, I don't know, a Centura pearl in one of the colours, you'd get a totally different look. You know, go for a vintage colour, it's going to look quite vintagey. I've just literally grabbed some cardstock from down below. And then we've got the ivy. So we've got the climbing ivy. So again, this one's really pretty. And this,
Very close in the vote, Jan.
just
Very close.
highlights the fact of those 3D folders. You know, we try and explain them to you, but you can see perfectly that sort of mesh netting in the background is one level, but then this is all sculpted on top of that background level, and that's what your 3D folders are all about. If I turn it over, you can see the depth. Just look at that sculpting on there.
Awesome.
So you've got, this is more like a traditional 2D embossing, but you've got all that gorgeous sculpting on the back to give you that lovely ivy there. And then we've got the, let's have a look what
Can
we
you
got
use
next.
gilding wax or those water-based waxes on mirror card, Jan?
You could use gilding wax on mirror card.
Okay.
The water-based probably wouldn't dry very well
Okay.
on there, yeah. So that vintage scroll, again, I just grabbed literally some cards, so we've got mirror card on that one again. But what I love to do with this one, and again, you know, you could say that you're wasting part of it, but I like to cut around this piece here on both sides. Do it twice, and then you can actually make yourself a frame with the 4 corners. And you know, for scrapbooks and things like that, really, really ornate. If you've got sort of an old photograph, not necessarily in the mirror card, you know, in the card that would suit your project, but I just think it lends. I mean, you know, you might not want to not use all the lace, the mesh in the background, but I think it's such an easy one to just fussy cut round and get those pieces out. They remind me of really lavish corners on there. And then the last one, which one haven't had? Oh, the butterfly. How can we miss the butterfly?
How could
Let me just
you
grab
miss the grosser
a
Schmetterling?
bit more cardstock.
Well,
Let's put
do you know what? My flabber is well and truly garsted, Jan. If I was a betting man, I'd be a lot poorer.
Would you?
I would indeed, because number 2 is the winner.
Really?
I am shooketh, as the kids say.
That surprised me. I thought
surprises me a lot.
the plaque would win, yeah. Well, whatever, thank you.
If you want to see how this was put together, then you need to join Jan and Becky in the next show, which will be 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and they'll show you how to make exactly that using those brand new Dreamies items. I'm going to pop this in its rightful place then, in that case, up on the Cabinet of Creativity, Jan.
I'm surprised with that one, I must admit.
I actually thought...
But I suppose it's horses for courses, isn't it? It's like everybody's got different tastes, so I was a little bit off with my measuring on that one. So we've got a bit of extra card, but not to worry. But just, again, look at that gorgeous butterfly there.
Karen Morganstein says, Jan and Joe together is my absolutely favourite team. How lovely is that?
Oh, the 2 J's, double J.
Absolutely. That is gorgeous, Jan.
Yeah. But again, I've just grabbed some cardstock that I'd got handy down below here. You know, when you do this in the colours that you're working with on your projects, beautiful.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'm a bit gutted, Jan, because I actually had you eyed up for demo of the week there with that MDF piece, you see. That's why. But the people have spoken. We live in a democracy, clearly. There's still loads to shop for. Don't forget, pop yourself over to the website, have a little look under the Shop the Show button, have a look at all the stuff that is in this show for you. Jan, when are you back? Well, you're back with us in 2 hours, but technically you're going home now. It's very strange. I can't get my head around it.
It is very strange, I must admit. I'm back next Sunday, Joe. Yep, next Sunday. I've got a craft class. And then, of course, we've got Second Chance Sunday.
Brilliant. But Jan will also be up in a couple of hours. You'll see more about that in just a moment. As well as programming here for you on Crafters TV. If anyone that is stateside wants to join myself and Sarah, there is a 3-hour HSM preview happening.
Wow.
Won't be here on Crafters TV. That'll be happening on the Fans of Crafters Companion on HSM page, or alternatively on the Crafters Companion USA page. It'll also be on my work profile, Facebook profile, and it'll be on Sarah's too. So just go and have a look at any of those. Massive thanks to Jan, massive thanks to you guys. I'll see you guys back. I'll either see you for the HSM preview, but failing that, if I don't see you there, I'll be back with you on Wednesday. But here's a little look at what else is coming up.
Come and join Becky and Jan later today for Craft House at 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, where we've got some amazing brand new products from the Dreamies range. Then tomorrow, come and join Becky and Bernie for the softer side of life at 12 p.m. UK time, 7 a.m. Eastern time. Well, it's all things needlecraft, so make sure you come and join us for some great shows lined up.